Really, I think people saying, I need to be in control of something in this situation, and since I can't control this virus, I'm going to control this, which is stocking up and preparing. I'm Kit Yarrow. I'm a consumer psychologist. That's a psychologist that studies why people buy what they buy. When people feel like a situation is out of control and they can't understand it and they feel a lot of anxiety, they feel a great urge to do things. So the antidote to anxiety really is control. And what people can control right now is buying things. So even people that I would consider to be really normal, rational people are saying things to me like, I don't know what came over me. I just had to buy it all. Or I know it doesn't make sense, but I just went crazy at the store. I think a lot of the reaction that we're seeing is perfectly normal and rational. People are working from home. They are at home. They're cooking from home. They're not going to restaurants. And so they're stocking up, and that makes sense. But we kind of rounded the bend into what doesn't make sense and what is clearly irrational, otherwise known as panic buying. And so here, other forces are at play. Anxiety makes us feel like we have to be more in control, and that anxious buying is part of the equation. We talked about social pressure, but a third one also is, I think, guilt avoidance. So I think a lot of people, especially heads of households, like people that other people depend on, like that are taking care of their parents or their kids or something like that, it's like a perfect storm, really. It's a really, really difficult situation. It is anxiety provoking in its own right. No matter what the media or anybody else was doing about it, this is an anxiety provoking situation because it's so out of our control. It's so mysterious. There's so many reasons. Now, I have to say, I think the whole thing has been heightened by our use of more even than media, but social media. That this is like, we're constantly bombarded with new information, some of it true, some of it not, primarily through social media, but it fuels and fans the fire. It's part of why toilet paper has become the poster child of excessive buying, because an empty toilet paper shelf is huge. It's a lot of real estate. Toilet paper's bulky. It takes up a lot of room, and so it takes up a lot of grocery store space. So when the news shows an empty toilet paper shelf, it looks really empty, as opposed to, say, an empty tuna fish shelf, which doesn't look that empty. And when people are seen carting out big, huge quantities of toilet paper, that's visually very potent, whereas a bag of tuna fish wouldn't have the same impact. Being productive makes you feel like you're being in control, that you have some sort of say over what's going to go on. And it also is a little bit of a distraction, takes your mind off of what is going on.